All right, continuing our winter practice. This is number 19. Tina walks at a rate of 2.83 miles per hour. Nora walks at a rate of 2.18 miles per hour, or 2 and 1800ths, 2 and 8300ths. How many miles farther will Tina have walked after they each walk for 2.5 hours? We're talking about rates. A lot of times when it's giving us rates, this first one said 2.83 per hour. Per hour means per 1 hour. Okay? And this is for, who's this for? Tina, right? Tina. What information does it give us on the other one? Well, that was Nora. It's a pretty name. I like that name. Okay. And 2.18 over 1, right? Because it's per hour as well. So that's how we're going to have this mapped out a little bit. Let me reorganize. Here we go. So 2.83 over 1. And we're trying to figure out how long they'll go if they were going for 2.5 hours. Well, we know this is miles per hour. So hours is on the bottom, right? Let's put that in a different color. This is hours on the bottom, right? So what it's saying is if she went 2.5 hours, which is going to be our denominator, right? Well, how did I get from 1 to 2.5? What do I have to multiply by? Just by 2.5, right? So 1 times 2.5 equals 2.5. So that's how I went from 1 hour to 2.5 hours, which is what she's asking us, or the question's asking us. So all we need to do now is if I multiply the bottom by 2.5, I'm going to multiply the top by 2.5. Whoa. Just fell. And let's see what we get when we multiply 2.83 times 2.5. Now, since this is multiplication, let's see here. Up, and you don't need to line up your decimals on multiplication. You can just take out your decimals and just remember how many numbers are to the right of it. So I'm going to pretend they're not here, and I can worry about that later. So let's do the multiplication part. What's 5 times 3? I'm going to go switch to a different color. This is 15. 5 times 8 is 40, plus a 1 equals 41. So I'm going to add my 1. Oh my gosh, I'm going slow, guys. Sorry. Over here, and the 4 is going to go over here. Equals 41. Now 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 equals 14. That's my first number. I'm going to switch now. Actually, let me draw a line. I'm done with this 5, so get rid of it. Now I'm going on to orange, right? First thing I'm going to do is add my placeholder, because I'm on the second number now. Cross this one off, so I add a placeholder. So now 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 times 8 equals 16. I'll bring my 1 over here. That's the reason I went different colors, so you guys can see where I'm multiplying it now. And 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. So now just got to add it all together. Hope you guys are paying attention, because you know I'm not doing the second one for you guys. Alright, let's see here. 5 plus 0 is 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. 6 plus 4 is 10. We're going to carry our 1 over here. Now we have 5 plus 1 plus 1, which is 7, right? Alright, so now we got 7075. But we have to account for those decimals that I messed with. Remember, there was 1 here. Let's see if I can add my decimal back. There was 1 there. And there was decimal. And there was 1. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulty. Sorry, guys. Alright, there's 1 that goes here. So how many numbers to the right of this decimal? Well, that'll be 2, right? And how many numbers are to the right of this one? Just 1. So I need to move my decimal spot 3 times over. So I'm just gonna take my decimal, which is imaginary and it's over here. I'm just gonna move them 1 spot, 2 spots, 3 numbers, and there's my decimal. It should be 7.075. So that's how far Tina would go. She would go 7.075. So now it's your job to figure out how far Nora would go to see who would walk further. Or actually, how many miles further. So since it's asking how many miles further, you're actually going to take the difference, which means subtraction, of Tina. Because we know Tina's going to walk farther because she's already a bigger number, right? She walks a little bit faster. We just want to know how much faster. So you're going to take her number and subtract whatever you get from Nora, and you'll have your answer. That's a lot going on there. Hopefully you guys get that one. All right, this is number 20. All you're doing is 15.25 divided by 0.25. So you're going to do 15.25 divided by, so this is going to go inside and outside, right? So it's going to go like this. Let me help set you up. And then you're on your own on this one. 0.25. So the beautiful thing about decimals with division is, remember, this guy is the boss right here. Our divisor. What we're going to do is we're going to move our decimal over 1, 2 spots to get rid of it, right? And that's going to turn into just 25. Right? No more decimal. And if I move the 2 spots over there, I'm going to have to move these 2 spots as well. So 1, 2. And now I got a nice whole number to work with. I don't have to deal with decimals. 25 going into this number, and you are on your own on that one. Good luck. Help you get rid of those decimals. You're welcome. Yeah, that's right. Dina runs 3.82 miles each day. How many miles does she run in 2 weeks? Well, think of that. How many days are there in 1 week? 7 days, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 7 days in 1 week. So if it's 2 weeks, we're just going to multiply that by 2. And hopefully most of you guys know this. It's going to be 14, right? All right. So now we're working with 14 days. So 3.82 miles each day for 14 days. You just got to multiply. And you'll have your answer. All right? The other way you could have done it is to do 3.82, 3.82, 3.82, 3.82, 14 times, which is a lot, right? And that's what multiplication is, repeated addition. So you would do it 14 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't even want to keep going. This is too many. So do it the faster way, which is just multiplying by your number, which is right here, right? Instead of adding 3.82 times, 82, 14 times. All right, that's how you do number 21. All right, so we are, for number 22, we're actually skipping the first 22. If you guys look at your paper, there's 2 22s. We're skipping the one that says a manufacturer makes paper clips that are shipped in boxes, blah, blah, blah. What you do need to do is, I don't remember which ones they were. I think it was A and D. A and D are your answers for that one. So put A and D for the first 22. You actually have to do the second 22 by yourself. Lucky for you, I just went over how to do decimals and division. Remember, you just move your decimal over 1 spot. So you're going to have to move this one over 1 spot and then bring it right up. And then you're on your own. All right, you guys can do it. 23. Of all 6th graders in the school, 60 wore glasses. Select whether each expression could represent the number of 6th grade students who wore glasses. So, of all 6th graders, 60 wore glasses, right? So that's the number we're going to be working with. Oh, I don't want to block my number, but you guys get the gist. Let me see if I can put a square around it so I don't block them. There you go. 60 wore glasses. So we got to figure out, is that our whole class or is it part of the class? Because remember, percent over 100 equals is over of, also known as part over whole, right? Uh-oh. I was hoping it would fit. There you go. Part over whole. So I'm just going to move this here. Put my fraction lines. These are equal to each other. Something I feel like I'm saying very often. Hopefully you guys can remember that. So the first one's 1/2 of 130. So we don't know, the of is on the bottom, right? This is what you're going to do. And actually, I'm not sure how I want to teach you guys this one. One second here. Alright, so this is how you could set it up. So there's a couple ways you can do this question. One way is the cross multiply method that many of you guys are used to, which is this. You're just going to cross multiply and see if this equals the 60. So then let's do that real quick, which I don't think that's the best method for this, but 1 times 130 is 130. 2 times x equals 2x, right? And then we got to divide by the number that's next to x. So that is 2. So let's get rid of that 2. And if I divide this by 2, I have to divide this by 2. Whatever I do on this side of the equal sign, I have to do on this side of the equal sign. These cancel each other out, right? I'm left with just x. Bring them right down. Equals. And then whatever 130 divided by 2 is. I know in my head, but in case you guys don't, I would work it out over here. Two goes into 13 5 times. Just kidding. 6 times. Just testing you guys. And that would give me 12. (13 minus 12 is 1. Bring down your 0. And 2 goes into 10 5 times. There you go. So the first one is 65. So this, if x equals 65, does that equal 60? No, it doesn't, right? So this isn't an option for us. A is not right. The other way you could have done it, which I thought would have been easier, is, let me rewind here, is to simply filter in the numbers, because we do know our part. Our part is 60, right? Part of the class is 60. Our whole class is whatever it gives us for the of, which is 130 in this case. So then you could just simplify. I know I can take out 10 on both these because they both end in 0. So if I divide by 10, let me change the color on that. If I divide by 10 on top, I'm going to divide by 10 on the bottom. Alright. And then this equals 6. This equals 13. And I can't simplify any further, right? There's no number that goes into 13. It's one of our prime numbers, besides 1 and 13. So that's as simplified as this is going to get. Is that equal to 1/2? No, they don't equal each other. So that's how I would know, like, oh, right off the bat, these are not equivalent fractions, so they are not equal. So it's not going to be 60. So that's the other option you have to figure these questions out. There's one more last way that is pretty easy as well, is we know of means times, right? It can mean times or it means the bottom number of a fraction. So of means times, so I can do 1/2 times 130, which is the first one given to us. Well, how do I multiply fractions? Well, it's kind of easy. All I have to do is add a 1 under my whole number, right? And then multiply across, or cross cancel. Let's just multiply across. I get 130 over 2, and then I have to simplify. Does 2 go into both these numbers? It sure does. 2 goes into 130 65 times, and 2 becomes 1. And that's how you get your answer as well. So the third option for you guys to try.